pages-long entry, the American section is made up of 2 short paragraphs that essentially boils down to, there are Jesuits in America and they run a bunch of colleges. But could it be that the reason why the American entry on the Jesuits is so much shorter is because their role in our history is far more secretive and therefore far more sinister? Could it be that the Jesuits, and by extension, the Vatican itself, were involved in one of the largest tragedies in American history?
Oh yeah?
And that it was, dare I say it, an inside job.
Oh, I can't wait! Oh, what are we gonna do? Are we doing a bargain?
Could it be that it was actually the Vatican that was behind the sinking of the Titanic?
That's stupid. Yes, Jack and Rose.
Yeah, but I chose this picture because, you see, there were only 3 working smokestacks on the Titanic. The 4th one actually didn't work. They just put that one on afterwards because it looked weird without, the 4th smokestack.
Please, Marcus, please stop. Don't continue to accurately describe the Titanic. I'm gonna come.
Josh already knew it.
I can't come on stage. I already did.
Well, let's begin at the beginning here.
Okay.
According to the secret instructions of the Jesuits, they're encouraged to use every means at their disposal to acquire wealth so they can advance the word of Jesus. These secret instructions were allegedly smuggled out and disseminated by a disgruntled former Jesuit named Jerry Zahorowski, who told everybody everything after he got fired, for reasons unknown.
But we do know, because unfortunately that brave man, he got fired for accidentally installing screen doors on the Vatican submarine.
I thought he got fired for losing the recipe to ice.
Polish jokes hurt everyone.
People like to make fun of the Polish people.
They do.
They like to make fun of us for being dumb.
They say we're dumb and we can't read and we don't cook good and we smell bad.
They make fun of the Polish hockey team that died during spring training.
That is sadness encapsulated.
I lost 3 cousins that week.
Now, as far as the Titanic conspiracy goes, the Jesuits' main accomplice was indeed a moneyed man. I'm speaking of the alleged secret Jesuit, J.P. Morgan.
I'm gonna go fist my sister.
You don't leave my sister alone unless you cut me a check. And you can have her.
It's about to take Mary Poppins' house away. Look at him.
But also, that is him eating pussy.
Throw me another fish.
Man, one tongue in the asshole, mustache on the pussy, nose touching her belly button.
Allegedly.
You know, sir, I'm looking at a man that looks sort of similar in the front row. You know, sir.
I can smell your mustache from here.
Yeah, his glasses are all fucked up.
Well, allegedly, a cabal of bankers and Jesuits wanted to create the American Federal Reserve to both accumulate wealth for the Catholic Church and fund World War I. The way to do it, they believed, was to build and sink the Titanic.
Okay. My thing is, I'm not a big Titanic head because I personally believe that if you travel by boat, you deserve it. But what I don't understand is why this?
Why?
Yes. Why sink the Titanic to start World War I?
Well, to understand the plan, you've got to understand the men standing in the way of creating the Federal Reserve. John Jacob Astor,
Okay.
Benjamin Guggenheim, and Isidor Straus.
All right.
You may know them from the Titanic movie as this guy, and this sad, sad man.
That guy looked like he's about to get his face ripped off by Scooby-Doo.
Either that or he's sitting on the pear of anguish.
Oh, I love this.
These guys do look fun to kill.
Yeah, I wish I could. You know, just good old-fashioned billionaires, man. You could just put all their heads together and just shoot them with one bullet.
Yeah, but you can't do that. You can't just walk up to these guys in the streets of New York City and pop the three of them in the head. Then everyone's gonna know what the fuck you're doing. You gotta hide in plain sight.
You do it in Jersey.
Yeah. See, the Jesuits needed a way to bump off all three of these guys without raising suspicion. And after discussing a variety of plans, the Jesuits realized that their fellow Jesuit, J.P. Morgan, owned a shipping company called the White Star Line.
Okay.
And so the Jesuits asked themselves, what if Morgan were to build a massive passenger ship and bill it as unsinkable? Ooh, unsinkable. Come on, the unsinkable ship, everyone. It's unsinkable.
That'd be huge, and it'd be a huge moneymaker. And you just have to make one or several unsinkable ships, and you could change commerce and war and everything else. It seems like that's a good plan in and of itself.
It was. The Titanic was sold out for months in advance. People were buying the ship, and they're going on it for months. And I looked up to see if everyone who had tickets to the Titanic after it sunk, if they got their money back. And Google said, Happy Hanukkah.
82.
To your question, Henry, I say, so you may think.
I hate that. I hate that.
These men then asked, what if he made it incredibly luxurious, this passenger ship, so as to make the maiden voyage irresistible to the wealthiest men in America, the very men who are standing in the way of our nefarious scheme?
That sounds like a good business plan. You make it so you're returning business of the very rich. The whole thing's gonna make money on its own.
Or so you may think.
I do think that.
And what if their ship were to somehow sink to the bottom of the Atlantic Ocean with all those wealthy men aboard, removing all obstacles to the Federal Reserve and paving the way for the carnage of World War I?
But what about the bulk and powder keg? You guys remember that from history class at school? There was the bulk and powder keg.
They shot the Archduke.
Yeah, they got the guy from Franz Ferdinand right when Let Me Out came out and Take Me Out. What about the bulk and powder keg?
Yeah, and they had all the holes that they fought in.
I don't know, man. I don't know where the people would be talking about this.
Yellow fever and mustard.
When we did our Rasputin series, like, we started it off by saying, like, so we're not history experts, you know, we're gonna make mistakes, and we made a mistake the first fucking sentence I said.
That's our lives. Wait till you hear the corrections from this week's side stories. They just keep growing longer and longer.
And so the Jesuits pitched the plan to J.P. Morgan, who said, yes, let us build this ship and call it the Titanic.
See, this is why AI's not gonna take over.
Yeah, because they did put Titanic into AI. It gave it 8 smokestacks instead of the 4.
Yeah, dog, it's wrong.
It's also like 6 North Stars.
But what, you may ask, would keep Astor, Strauss, and Guggenheim from boarding lifeboats? Well, the coup de grace came when the ship began sinking. To ensure all his targets drowned, J.P. Morgan had electromagnetic seals installed on the ship.
I don't know what they're gonna do besides bark at you and steal your keys. Yeah, just sitting there going, covered in coins and watches and shit.
Yeah. Someone's got to get those doors open.
Yeah.
You're both being purposefully obtuse.
Yes. Yes, purposely obtuse is my burlesque name.
Well, when the electromagnetic seals shut,
I thought that was purposely obese.
I am purposely obese. I'm in a bulking phase. The bulking phase has lasted about 40 years. Once I get into the cutting phase, you'll know. Because I'll be covered in blood.
when the electromagnetic seals shut, Guggenheim, Strauss, and Astor were below deck, and thus, when they went to their watery doom, all opposition to the Federal Reserve was eliminated. And just by, oh, what incredible coincidence, the Federal Reserve was established 8 months after the sinking of the Titanic, and World War I broke out less than a year after that.
So, all of this took 2 years. So they sunk the Titanic. They made the Federal Reserve a year later, and then they started World War I a year after that.
Plans within plans, my friend. It's all a Russian nesting dog.
I can't argue with that.
It was a good investment, Henry. I mean, this fucking boat's still killing billionaires to this day.
Interestingly, though, the man who became famous for his photographs taken during the Titanic's voyage was also a Jesuit. Unlike the others, he survived and was able to bring us haunting images such as this one.
Now, this is, I feel, a wasted opportunity here. Obviously, it's My Little Pony, Jack and Rose. But I do wish instead you had the girl pony, like, laying out on one of those long couches so you could see her teats hanging out, right? Her horse udders. And then Jack could have an easel painting her like one of his French horses, you know? And then you could have over in the cuck chair, you know how every hotel has a cuck chair? The observational tent for disappointed, well-meaning husbands.
I've never thought of that extra chair as the cup chair. Yeah.
Yeah, it's the chair that's built for...
Yeah, it's got that little imprint in the middle where everyone's balls go.
You know, he's setting a standard we're not going to be able to repeat there, Stephanie.
I feel like I was talked into this.
Have you thought about going less deep, sir? Hey, could you take your shoes off? You're scratching our ankles.
My God.
Now, if the Jesuits did indeed sink the Titanic to create the Federal Reserve, then that would mean that they had meddled in the affairs of the United States government. And governments have never been particularly friendly with the Jesuits. Case in point, what if I told you that the Titanic was not the only time that the Jesuits inserted themselves into American affairs, and were in fact behind one of the most consequential events in our history?
Yeah? Oh, are you going to do it, Marcus?
What if I told you that it was actually the Jesuits that were behind the assassination of JFK?
Aw, man, who cheered? There's always one.
Only in Australia. Every city we've done, when we see like JFK, they're like, yeah!
He got a very shootable head.
That's why, because they're all waiting for the crushing closer of it being 9/11.
Now, my question is...
And also, they may have killed Lincoln, but that's a story for another.
That's boring. Hold on, there's something else. Why would a Catholic group want to kill our only Catholic president?
Because he was going to convert.
What, to Muslim?
Was he gonna be like, Assalamu alaikum? Now you get that bacon off that breakfast tray?
No, you can't drive, Jackie.
Which way is Mecca? Oh, same as Boston? He'd have a hard time getting him after the prayer because of his back injuries.
Keep popping back up.
Yeah, Bill.
But the biggest proponent of the JFK Jesuit conspiracy theory is a man named Eric John Phelps, who's pictured here in one of his many videos trying his best to be helpful.
Part 7 of 195.
Part 8, dealing with the race war.
Part 9, how to get a side job during the race war.
Now, his theory as to why JFK was assassinated by the leader of his own religion is ridiculously convoluted and involves the Soviet KGB, the Cubans, the mob, the Knights of Columbus, and the Shriners.
Everybody, how hard would it be to get JFK in one of these? Like Mario Kart.
It had to been up a ricochet.
Oh, dude. Fez, though, good distraction. He just pops it off. That's why Lincoln didn't wear his hat one time.
I can't believe these guys are American and not Australian.
Yeah, because if Australians had these cars, your entire country would fall apart.
Y'all would be terrors in these cars.
Koalas underneath all of them.
That's racist. Don't you do this to these people. They're going to turn on us.
We're all white! Including the koalas.
When you skin them,
When you shave them, Henry, when you skin them, they're all pink.
Oh, you were very pink.
Oh, I'm crazy pink, dog. You should see me naked.
Yeah. That's why I like my sallow gray.
Yeah.
But a theory completely outside of assassination put forth by Phelps that's far more interesting concerns Henry's most beloved subject.
Mission style burritos?
Oh, you think this is fun and games? You think this is some kind of comedy show?
Well, according to Phelps, there's no such thing as aliens, but that does not mean that there are no such thing as alien greys.
Okay. Angry already. Obviously being referenced. I've never seen a gray with a pot belly before and stepdad calves.
He's also got your jerk off forearms.
I heard myself jerking off. That's how good I am at it.
If you were good at it, you'd be fine.
You've never seen a gray like this? Have you ever seen a gray like this?
I take it as a
compliment. That was a compliment. It's a good shirt. I literally saw that shirt at Supply today. It's there. Big old cone of weed though. Man, I miss it. Ooh, I'm gonna have a seizure if I don't have weed soon.
Not addicted though.
Well, according to conspiracy theorist Eric John Phelps, the Greys are the creations of the Jesuits. These creatures are genetically engineered in deep underground military bases. That's right, the Jesuits had their very own dome.
Yeah.
And it was the Jesuits, using their own anti-gravity technology, who put those little creatures into a flying saucer in 1947 and crashed it in Roswell, New Mexico.
Oh, where'd they get that picture?
Yeah, it's a really good picture of the actual event, right?
It's a terrarium. You all know it's a terrarium with the fish rocks, and there's little chunks of weed in there for scale, and that fake UFO. But for you did know what happened that day.
Not even in Roswell, it was called the Corona incident. 2 objects fell on that little farm, and yeah, did it sure confuse those 2 simple farmers? Absolutely. But they trusted in their government.
Ruby shoes.
Kansas.
That's as much as I can do. As much as my physical body can do.
After watching that, she does seem more talented.
Way more.
No, man, it shows me that I can go to the Olympics.
Yeah, but you gotta buy a ticket.
Yeah, dude, and then I rush the stage, right? I bop it and I come in the... Everyone's gonna be like, oh, shit!
This, however, was not the only time that the Vatican and aliens have crossed paths. According to David Grush, the current UAP whistleblower du jour, America obtained a flying saucer from Benito Mussolini after getting tipped off by Pope Pius XII, who's seen here looking appropriately foreboding. That's a pope who's got a UFO.
Yeah, dude. This is him right off of his Eras tour.
Tortured Pope Society.
I'm the problem, it's me.
But actually, in UFO lore, it is true. Now, according to David Grush, one of the 12 objects the United States have, which he says that is a definitive number of UFOs that are in various hangars around the United States of America, and one of them came from pre-World War II Italy. And so apparently these guys, during the time period when the fascists were doing their illegal archaeological digs all over Europe looking for antiquities that would give them supernormal powers, they found this thing in a mountain, according to UFO lore, brought it to Benito Mussolini, and they were like, hey, look, we have an ultimate Fiat from the sky. You can drive it, you can hire it, this is for you, we make a pasta for the alien. And Benito Mussolini, and this is according to UFO lore, he looked at it and he said, can I drive it? And they're all like, no, we don't know what it is. Like, we think it's alien, we don't know what it is. And he's like, get rid of it. So they just fucking put it somewhere and then eventually sold it to us like they sold us a bunch of scientists.
If Benito Mussolini had a flying saucer, he'd just flip it upside down and fill it with spaghetti.
I just think it'd be cool if he sat on top of it, you put a chair on it, you get a couple of horses, whoosh, whoosh, you could just drag along. This is not a bit, this is just an idea.
Now you might be saying to yourself, sure, the Jesuits sound and look very powerful, but how did they obtain this power in the first place? And how have they kept it throughout the centuries?
Money.
Well, that's part of it, yeah.
Oh, yeah, just check.
But another part of that power seems to come from a little device called the chronovisor.
Whoa.
Is he looking at Julius Caesar's death? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's it going, what day is today? Oh no.
My friends suck.
Now the chronovisor is a device that gives the user the ability to not travel through time, but to see through time and take pictures.
Oh, like a pervert across the street from an elementary school.
According to sources, this device was developed through a joint venture between a monk named Father Pellegrino Ernetti, Nobel Prize winner Enrico Fermi, and who else but the man who took us to the moon, American hero Werner von Braun. Oh, shit. Yeah. You want Walt Disney, Werner von Braun.
They hung out. Isn't that fun? It's fine, it's all right. Because Santa used to be German and we flipped him too. And you can tell Santa's German because he doesn't bring Jewish kids any gifts.
And you can tell Walt Disney's a Nazi because of all the trains at Disneyland.
They keep coming back empty.
According to what Father Pellegrino said, the chronovisor was made of mysterious metals that picked up sound and light waves from the past, which the chronovisor could turn into images. Now, being a monk, the first thing that Father Ernetti wanted to see was the crucifixion of Jesus Christ. Because, I mean, who fucking wouldn't? Now, fuck the Sermon on the Mount, fuck all the miracles, I want to see that motherfucker die!
Yeah, dude, that's the fucking most metal day of his life, man. Of course you want to see that shit. You got Jesus looking hot as hell. He's got that cut abs like the cum gutters, like sliding out like long, beautiful white skin. And he grabs that big crucifix and he's dragging along. The first CrossFit.
That's nice.
The 12 stages. He's dragging it. Oh, fuck. Oh, yeah. And him and his boys are like, let me wash your feet. Let me wash them feet, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I want to be there for that gay celebration.
Well, Pellegrino did see the crucifixion. He did take a picture.
Awesome.
And this is the very real chrono photo that he claimed from the day he died. He claimed to take this. This is Jesus.
Oh, man. Just looks like me trying to describe classic rock to my niece.
The face my dog makes when it takes a shit.
You don't think Jesus won't shit? You don't think Jesus wasn't shitting?
He looks like a manager in Superdry that just got in trouble for touching one of his 16-year-old employees.
Hey, she's super mature. She's going to college in like 3 years.
Dad, I don't think they get it!
Well, Father Pellegrino, after taking pictures of Jesus, he decided that he was going to go a little bit further back in time, way further back in time. He was going to go back to the Garden of Eden. Awesome. He was going to take pictures of the first people, but he was very disappointed to find out that it actually was Adam and Steve.
Yeah. It really was.
Man, that snake's crawling up his butt.
So he figured, oh wow, that's a surprise, but let me go a little bit further.
They look good. I can't believe they shaved them in that way, too. That's crazy.
I think this is gay eye generated.
Oh, gay eye.
Well, Father Pellegrino said, let's check out Cain and Abel. It looked like they were wrestling?
Yeah, some kind of wrestling. It's always like a new boys in town, and they're always wrestling.
Cain keeps getting stuck in the dryer.
I think this is actually cocaine and Abel.
Oh, and he also took a picture of the guy we saw earlier, Pope Innocent III.
Yeah.
Father?
Close-up picture.
I want you to look at this. I want you to fucking look at this. These are your husbands, your fathers, your sons, your brothers. This goes to war and dies. Just remember that. The respect this earns.
That's the apricot of freedom between that legs.
Yes, we thought it might be shit. But upon further looking at it, it is balls.
This is proof that men's brains are between their legs.
Mine are on the smaller side. But it's just because I'm mature.
How the fuck?
Is that how it goes?
Yeah, how the fuck does that work?
As you get older, your balls get bigger.
I don't need your grandiose big penis and your large balls. I have an artist's penis and dancer's balls. Ask Adolf Hitler what an artist's penis looked like. Me and his penis probably are pretty weirdly similar, as they're the same height.
People always say they'd go back in time and kill baby Hitler, but like, why not kill him as an art student?
Man, wouldn't you love to first say his painting sucked and then shoot him in the head? That sucks! Fuck you!
How long does this stay up there?
The rest of the show. Look at this!
I'm sorry, man. Thank you for all your work.
They didn't even pay to be here. Our poor security.
Now, had the Vatican used the chronovisor to look into their fairly recent past, to say the 1940s, they would have been able to see themselves collaborating with the Nazis. To wit, it's a well-known fact that the Pope before last was a Hitler youth.
God damn it. Why does he have jerky Jesus on his stick? Why did you burn up Jesus?
Maybe he's thinking about joining the KKK.
Yeah, because that's the KKK's crucifix, right? Yeah. Do you think Hitler Youth played like hopscotch? Like, what'd they do?
I got a book for you.
Oh, yeah.
A lot of marching, a lot of drums.
The Pope being a Nazi is like an Indiana Jones subplot.
Yeah, dude.
But Pope Benedict was not the only Catholic to be involved with the Nazis. Even though some Catholics did save Jewish lives, pro-Nazi Catholic bishops created escape routes called rat lines to help Nazis leave Europe after the war. Bishops like this obvious Nazi, Alois Hudal.
Who? No, not me.
Tally's a Nazi by the tiny round glasses.
The glasses are so small he could not see the impression.
Tunes.com.
You should never have wireless circle glasses unless you're making LSD in your basement.
Now, it is speculated that the Vatican helped the escape of one of the most evil Nazis of all time. I'm talking, of course, about Joseph Mengele.
Mengele! War Criminal has a theme song. It's the only crowd in the world where you can literally say the words Joseph Mengele, and a bunch of people just go like, yeah! Oh yeah!
He's not the only one with the theme song. You got Edie, I mean, oh, you know what I mean. They come on Eileen, but Edie, I mean.
Did you just make that up?
Yeah.
Wow! I never thought of that.
We'll workshop it later.
Fascist how?
Well, let's see Mengele.
Here he is in Brazil, right after the war, having a great time.
Dude.
He's the papu in the middle.
Why is he hanging out with his boys? He's like doing the hard style, like in like a hardcore album. He's like.
And we do actually have one more photo from the chronovisor that shows Mengele in Brazil. He's having the best fucking day of his life, Parasite.
I like the SSSS. I like this a lot. I like he's got the little Argentine flag, right? And it would be amazing if this was like real. This is a fun world where if he was like feeding like one identical twin ice cream and seeing if the other one liked it or like did back and forth, you know, like something fun like that. But It wasn't.
Did he glue a baby arm to that guy's face?
No, they could only afford one snorkel. And one of them got the snorkel and the other one got the goggles. They could only afford one pack.
Man, and they had to split the hat. That's gotta be such a hard thing for conjoined twins. What do we do with the belts?
No, now, when you go home tonight, you say you saw a really cute picture of Joseph Mengele. Be careful.
I saw this super cute picture last night. Joseph Mengele was having such a good time.
Now, the Vatican, and particularly the Jesuits, have manipulated Western culture for centuries, although you may be surprised to learn how many pop culture pies the Jesuits have dipped their fingers into.
I just wish you'd leave the desserts alone.
Would you rather I say many tongues and many soups?
Yeah, I don't like soup.
All right.
I don't like soup. Yeah, I come here to say tough shit. I'm from America. These are hard things we deal with. Soup sucks, and y'all know it.
Well, concerning their influence on pop culture, many Jesuits are exorcists.
See, this just shows any crucifix can squirt. You just have to spend the time. And it's not pee.
It's obviously not working. Look how much fun the demons are having.
Oh yeah, I got some in my mouth. That's pee. But it's not pee all the time. Sometimes it's pee.
Read me some more, you fucker!
Now, the so-called Pope's exorcist, Reverend Gabriel Amorth, was himself a Jesuit and was recently portrayed in a movie by Australia's own Russell Crowe at his chubbiest.
Talk about lots of pie. I was eating breakfast in Los Angeles. I'm bragging. And I was sitting there, and yes, Russell Crowe walked in. This is a true story. He sat down next to me, he ate eggs. And that man smells like a Yowie. He is the grossest living man that I've ever sat next to.
Now, the Pope's exorcist didn't have much of an impact, but no less than 3 Jesuits worked as advisors on the most infamous possession movie in history, The Exorcist.
Yeah, dude. Oh, little known movie fact. When she started masturbating with the crucifix, that was all improv. Crazy actor. Love Linda.
Now, can we take it again, but flip it upside down? That one's for Henry.
Thank you, I like it.
Now, there's quite a bit of lore associated with The Exorcist, but one of the lesser-known facts is that an actual serial killer named Paul Bateson was an actor in the movie. He was in the Spinal Tap scene. Allegedly, this guy was the perpetrator of a series of killings between 1975 and 1977, in which 6 men in New York City were found dismembered and stuffed in bags. The NYPD, fresh out of creative names, called them the Bag Murders.
At least it's not the Duffel murders. Even that's sadder.
Duffel?
Yeah, I like Duffel bag.
The Duffel Murders. Now, these are, or the Sack Murders.
Ooh, yeah, the sack murders. It just sounds like you're cutting ball sacks off and letting them drain out. That's an idea.
Yeah.
Keep it in your pocket. You just take that little idea there and you put it in your pocket.
But what's relevant about the Jesuits' role in The Exorcist was that faith in the priesthood's power was in deep decline leading up to The Exorcist. But after the movie was released, belief in the actual devil rose to levels not seen since the Salem witch trials, which was very good business for both the Jesuits and the Vatican.
Yes. It seems the devil has kept the Catholic Church in business all these years. I've never touched a woman, nor have I played a physical sport.
The devil's not a bad guy. He's the warden of hell, you know? He's not like he's a demon as much as he's a cop. I guess that's a bad example.
Now, since the Vatican is such an ancient institution, it's only natural that there have been internal conflicts throughout the centuries. For example, people have slipped into power that ran contrary to the Vatican's status quo. And indeed, the squid of malevolence has tightened its deadly tentacles around those who have crossed it. Case in point is the legend of Pope Joan, who's pictured here sending heavy fuck vibes to a monk.
Man, it's kind of fun to think about that if you're a lady with stigmata, you got 3 extra holes. Isn't that fun?
Hey, you know what
You like that?
you can pleasure with that?
Isn't that nice? Aren't you happy about that?
You think she's showing those guys? She's like, these are the 2 fingers I use on me.
Hey, don't worry, no condoms for this one.
Now, as legend has it, Joan disguised herself as a man, joined the church, and was eventually elected pope in the mid-9th century. She then ruled as a man for 2 years, but her ruse was finally revealed when she gave birth, and she was subsequently murdered for her subterfuge.
No, it's a sheep. It came out from front the butthole. It's a shit. Oh, you stop crying, shit. Shut up, shit. You shut up, you shit. You want a... Oh, shit, looking for a milk. Oh, it's a... Oh, sucking upon my useless male teeth.
Why didn't she just say Jesus put it there?
Yeah. Whoa! Jesus turned my shit into a baby! No way!
I'm the best fucking pope ever!
That really put the mess in Messiah.
Supposedly, after the death of Pope Joan, the Vatican removed her from their official lists and crafted a ritual to ensure that all future popes were male using a device called the sedia porphyry rectica. Jesus. Allegedly, the Pope would sit in this chair just before he was crowned and let his balls hang down, which would then be palpated by a bishop to make sure that he was a dude.
What a lucky bishop. His hands better be moisturized.
I don't know, these might be fake. Give me another hour.
You know, if they make a noise, you don't get your wish.
Now, this ritual is said to be a myth, but nobody has ever figured out any other purpose for this chair. The only other explanation I could find was that just before the crowning ceremony, the Pope had to sit here and prove that he was not God, but a mortal man by taking a big, fat shit.
You don't think God would shit? That's the best thing about being a person.
Ah, but God would shit too well.
Yeah, but then you'd be like, whoa. Like, I feel like that's like if you had a Pope shat and it just was the alphabet. That'd be incredible.
Let us pray. Amen.
Yeah, if he shat, it just said amen, dude. That's the end of mass.
Now, if the legend of Pope Joan is true, then that means that the Vatican is willing to resort to assassination if the wrong Pope gets into power. See, everyone knows about Pope John Paul II, who's pictured here looking inquisitive.
Here, Pope. Here, boy. Here, Pope. Come here. Oh, you want to go for a walk? Oh, you want to go for a walk? Let's get your bulletproof cube. Let's get your bulletproof cube. Oh, who's a good boy? Who's a good Pope?
Inquisitive, like he's trying to figure out what side the stroke's on.
It doesn't hurt here so much. Or here.
What I didn't know is that there was actually a Pope John Paul I who reigned immediately before Pope John Paul II, but died after just 33 days in office. Now that's a fucking 33-day Pope if I ever seen one.
My favorite kind of Pope. Dead in a month.
33-Day Pope is a new reality show we have back
Now, the conspiracy theory is that John Paul I was, as his first act, planning to expose the Catholic Church's many financial ties with the Italian mafia, which was a very real conspiracy involving a bishop named Paul Marcinkus. And this isn't like Marcinkus from the fucking movie. This is what this guy actually looked like. He was a dangerous looking fucker.
Yeah, dude, if he molests you, you don't come back.
The Romans killed Jesus. Everyone forgets that.
Oh, yeah, I mean, yes. The Italians definitely killed Jesus Christ.
Yeah, because there's nothing more Italian than killing a man and blaming it on the Jews.
But out of all the people blamed for John Paul I's death, none are more entertaining than Anthony Raimondi.
The Lord of guys who got a guy.
I think this guy snorts ricotta.
Yeah, but I've been switching to low fat because I get too much cholesterol on my brain.
Raimondi is a former mafia goomba who wrote a book long after he was out of the game, claiming all kinds of wild shit. A lot of these guys do this shit. In his book, When the Bullet Hits the Bone, Raimondi says that he helped his cousin kill Pope John Paul I by putting Valium in his tea to knock him out. Then they poisoned him with cyanide. Bing, bang, boom, Pope's dead. No problem. Fuck you.
That's done. It's easy to do. Just ask my cousin. I went in there and I was like, hey, pest control, you know, they don't check that shit. I walked right in there to his little paper fucking bedroom or whatever. Now when I took that shit, put in his little cup, he's drinky, next thing you know, poopy, sleepy.
Raimondi says if you don't fucking believe him, all you gotta do is go dig up the fucking Pope, test him for cyanide, and tell him he's wrong or kill your fucking mother.
It's simple. You go dig him up. You feel around his bones. You put it in your mouth. Does it taste like almonds? That's cyanide.
Now, 95% of what I've said tonight is, of course, speculation.
What the fuck?
So why are we here?
I've been all over myself. We've just been lying. This whole thing is just one giant convoluted lie.
Across a hemisphere and two oceans to lie to these poor people.
Yeah, why did we do this to them?
I have not been lying, I've been asking questions.
Yeah, hey,
I'm just speculating.
That's like it around. Things were real. The rat lines are real.
Yeah.
Having extra holes with stigmata is real, and that's great for women. They love that.
The chronovisor's real?
super real.
JP Morgan's existence.
He was alive.
But while the Vatican may not have sunk the Titanic, they were still, in many instances, malicious. And there is an interesting familial connection that brings all of this home. In 2001, a Jesuit priest was made a cardinal of the Catholic Church. His name was Avery Dulles.
Are you my son?
Oh, I left my teeth in that boy over there.
Ed just made his quota! He hit 5!
Don't worry. I blew past mine. I'm going into fines.
I will be collecting after the show. Avery Dulles' father was Secretary of State under President Dwight D. Eisenhower in the 1950s. His name was John Foster Dulles.
Fuck you. Fuck you.
I thought you were talking to Marcus.
A guy.
And is it just a coincidence that Avery's uncle and John's brother was who else but MK Ultra instigator and CIA director Alan fucking Dulles?
It's honestly extremely frightening how powerful the family was and what it's doing to our world.
There's an airport in our nation's capital named after that man.
And it's funny because, and this is true, it's the airport with the shortest runway. So it's like trying to assassinate you as you land on it.
Yeah, it ends right at the Pentagon.
What do you think happened on 9/11?
But if you thought that the power of the Jesuits is on the wane, you'd be wrong. For at this very moment, there is currently a Jesuit in the top spot. The very first one to act as Pope.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
He's still there?
Yeah! His real name is Jorge Bergoglio.
Fuck him!
Who's that?
But you may know him better as Pope fucking Francis.
Oh, I'm gonna get...
Oh no. Oh no. Henry. Oh no, Henry. Jesus Christ, be careful. No, Henry. Oh my God. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Check on the merch flyer out there.
If his pants fall down, make sure to hold them.
Doesn't Henry look like Slimer played by Richard Dreyfuss?
I think he looks more like the guy playing Slimer in a Ghostbusters porno parody.
Stay out of the sound booth!
Yeah.
Oh my God.
And here he comes. And here comes Henry Zabrowski. He's coming out the track. He's coming out. And there's somebody right behind him. And they look like they may catch him. But Henry Zabrowski, his little tiny breasts are bouncing up and down. And he seems like that he is out of breath. But he's going to make it to the end. He's going to make it to the very end. Ladies Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the stage, Henry Thomas Zabrowski!
It's amazing. Your first things Velcro together like last time.
Yeah.
I forgot I had to finish the show.
Henry looks like a stripper that pays the audience.
He's just trying to get it out of his system.
Well, another one.
Do you like it?
Yeah, you like butter? You like my little penis? You like my little balls? My wife's here.
Not anymore.
Oh, she left?
When you put all of this information together, because I put out a lot of fucking interesting information tonight, a lot of things to think about. When you put it all together, it could be that no matter what we do, the octopus of malice and the squid of malevolence currently are and forever will be scissoring the world to death. Thank you.
Yes, beautiful, Marcus.
Thank you.
Good stuff.
You know what I say? 7 in the pink, 1 in the ink.
I also thank you for blurring out the sapphic.
Of course, we have a sensitive audience.
So should I get dressed?
Nah.
All right. You beautiful people. You look so good, you smell good. We're so happy to be here. Now it's time for us to close our show with our favorite bit.
Coming,
I
I know what's coming.
For those of you that don't know, who've never seen us live before, we love to end our show the way we always have ended our shows, with our favorite segment called One for Us, One for You. So, what we're gonna do, the way the game goes, is that we show a video for us that is genuinely gonna make some of you extremely upset with us personally. And I know for a fact, we have had at least one engagement break up because of this bit. This is completely real. People get into fights all the time because it's really fun about it, what we like. Because then it's really, lives are on the line.
Yeah.
Is that invariably one person listens, another person doesn't, they're in a pair. You go back in the car later, one goes to the other, I can't believe you laughed at that. What the hell's wrong with you? The other one says, I can't believe you didn't. You're a prude. I thought I knew you. The trust is gone.
Yeah, if your husband or boyfriend bought you tonight, just go get the car and come around.
But then, we show a video for you guys. It's cute. And it cleanses the palate. So it's like you didn't see the thing that you just saw.
And usually there is a theme to the One For Us videos, but this time I figured it'd be better to go for a pattern. And the pattern I've chosen is Puss Puss Teeth.
See, in America, we have this thing called factory fart. And it's not good.
They actually put this in a pie at the Queen Victoria Marketplace.
It's quite good.
There's a theme for the one. There's a theme for One For You videos, though. It's animals riding other animals.
Now, this is very cute, yes, of course, but in the Galapagos, unfortunately, little kitty cats are an invasive species and need to be killed on sight.
Here's more puss.
See, this is called a cow making its own milkshake. I'm certain it's fine. Honestly, I bet it feels good.
How much do you think we can get out of you?
That's where your madness comes from.
Here's a monkey on a dog.
And this looks cute, but all of those rams are actually ram pedophiles, and they're rounding them up.
Also, if you think that's cute, what if you were walking down the street in the middle of the night, you saw 5 of those, and they got little switchblades? And one of them was a fucking grenade?
Here's some teeth.
Don't look at this one. Just look down or something. I'm telling you.
I hate this one.
That's why we show it last, so they can't kick us out of the venue.
And finally, it's a dog on a dolphin! Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so fucking much for coming out tonight. Melbourne, you're a wonderful fucking city.
We love you. Soon let the coach survive.
Yeah, yes.
Love you so fucking much. Thank you so much for waiting for us. We are going to come back sooner, I swear, to Satan himself. Hail Satan! Hail me! See you motherfuckers! See you on the ice!
Fucking you fuckers have a good fucking night. Hail him.
Yeah.